to another video. Welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel, guys, is going to be part 2 of my November 2025 watches. Admittedly, guys, I have not watched as many films in November as previous months. I have just been quite busy starting my new job, which is going great, guys, and I just want to say again, thanks for everyone's kind wishes there in regards to me landing in this new job, and I really do appreciate it. And yeah, it's going brilliant so far, guys, so thank you so much for all your kind messages and your humbled wishes there. It's really appreciative as always. And yeah, just been as I say, there's been times where I've just been, as I say, at work, or I've been out and about and stuff, and yeah, so I've just been having a bit of a quite busy schedule for this latter part of November. So I've only watched 8 films in total for this part 2 of this November 2025 watches. So yeah, this is gonna be my shortest installment into this monthly watches a series that I started back in January. And yeah, going forward, guys, I will still be splitting in this monthly watches videos into 2 parts. But guys, for December, I'm probably gonna be watching mostly Christmas films, and I don't know if I am gonna do a Christmas watches special. I might do that through maybe a YouTube short, I think, to round up a roundup of all the Christmas movies I've watched. I think I will do that for possibly a YouTube short video. But all the non-Christmas movies that I have watched in December, I probably will still do a devoted video to that. But I don't think I'll be doing a Christmas watches special. I'm not too sure. I'm just going to have to see how my schedule goes and that. But if not, I will do this through a YouTube short video, which is still obviously better than nothing, I guess. I've had an absolutely fantastic time doing these monthly watches videos, and I think, like I say, going forward, this new format is gonna work out a lot better and stuff. So yeah, to kickstart the video, I did rewatch again, wanted to go back to a lot of these wintry based movies, and I rewatched The Dead Zone from David Cronenberg. So I must admit, guys, the DVD, it's a terrible transfer. It's all just black bars, and the screen is kind of in the middle, and it's not a very, it's done in that aspect ratio where it's kind of the black bars make it out that it's bigger than actually the screen itself. So it was a bit of a terrible transfer, admittedly, because I think the first time I watched this, it was possibly on film 4. So I'm hoping that either we're going to get a Blu-ray or 4K release of this over here in the UK. If not, guys, I might even go for that 4K edition, because yeah, the DVD transfer is absolutely pants, guys. It really isn't a good transfer, unfortunately. But yeah, it was still good though to go back to the film, and yeah, the film is just really interesting. Christopher Walken plays this school teacher. He leaves his wife one day, he has an argument with his wife, and then he gets involved in a car crash, and then he soon discovers he's been in a coma for 5 years. A lot has changed within that time, as you can imagine. Just things are changed in the front of his very eyes, and there's just so much he's overwhelmed by. He doesn't know how to process, but then he finds he's got the ability to retrace his steps and find out within the 5 years he's kind of, you know, been in this coma, like to kind of sort of trace like these events that's happened and what has happened at like at which place, and if there's something kind of suspicious that has gone on, and to kind of bring it forward to, you know, like any investigation possible. And also he's kind of seeking into the future that Martin Sheen is like his character is overpowering. He's you know, got these kind of big ambitious plans that, you know, is gonna really have a knock-on effect with you know, like this local town in the future, because he's going for like, I think I think this town mayor, I think. So it is a really interesting like film, this, that takes place at the wintry time. And yeah, Christopher Walken, it plays a really good like leading character to this one as well. In terms of like the David Cronenberg and the body horror aspects, yeah, this is really good. It's like a really good trope for like David Cronenberg's films, and yeah, this is no exception to that. So the Dead Zone is a good film, guys. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. One of my favorite Tarantino films, and that is The Hateful Eight. Yeah, The Hateful Eight is just a really good film, and especially in my opinion, especially watching it around like this wintry time of year, I just think this film, I don't think I could watch this film at any other time of year, guys. It would have to be at the wintry time of year. And yeah, absolutely fantastic, guys. Like, as I say, the usual sort of tropes in a Tarantino film. You're gonna get amazing like dialogue and the scripts, the acting, the score as well from Ennio Morricone in this film is just elite. It is sheer brilliance. And what's just really interesting, guys, is, you know, it's kind of a bit of a it's kind of done like, it's sort of like a one main location throughout in this cabin, but there's so much they do with it, like where they tell like for each profile and each character their individual like kind of, you know, like background and to why they got to this like cabin, this lodge. And a couple of these characters have gone way back when, and they've known each other probably for one reason to another. And yeah, it's just brilliant, guys. I think Kurt Russell probably plays my favourite character in this. Sam Jackson is just as cool gets as ever in this film. And yeah, again, really interesting backstory with James Marsden in there as well, and he's had a bit of a checkered history with I believe it's Sam Jackson's character in this film. And yeah, when Sam Jackson goes into that whole backstory of how when he saw Bruce Dern's son, it really drives up again that tension in this film as well. And you don't kind of know where that's gonna go. It's just a really fantastic film, guys, and just, yeah, like, again, it's so interesting when you're focusing on like each character and like kind of, you know, that they're past tense, and it's like how it brings them back to kind of where they are like now in this cabin. And my goodness, yeah, you do get a real shock horror value as well, especially where that like a drink has been poisoned. So yeah, great film, guys. The Hateful Eight, I'm gonna give an 8.5 out of 10 there. I had a rewatch of Three Colours White, part of the Three Colours trilogy from Krzysztof Kieslowski, and oh my goodness, guys, this film is fantastic. I absolutely love this film. I have spoken about this one in a bit more in depth in my like sort of winter-based recommendations video, which I will put a link in the description box down below. But yeah, this film is just really good. Like, just, you follow this like main leading character, and is just his life and everything that's kind of around him. It's kind of he's kind of falling apart. He's in a bit of an emotional wreck, and you know, like kind of like he is just crumbling and crumbling as you find out what happens at the start of the film, and he basically just has to get away from all of this sort of like kind of this real kind of drastic outcomes where you find that his like wife wants to like divorce him. She's coming out with all this like kind of checkered history about him, and you see that's gonna have a real knock-on effect with this main guy at the start. I think he's called Carol, and then you find that he's out of work. He's like his credit card has been frozen, and he really just doesn't know what to do. Like everything around him, it is just like crumbled and crumbled and dwindling, and you just feel truly sorry for the guy. But then until he meets this businessman, this businessman kind of wants to take him under his own wing, and he basically then has a plan to return home in his briefcase, suitcase, back to his homeland in Poland, and kind of just start a new life and you know, like be reunited with his family again and stuff like that. But oh, this is brilliant. As I say, guys, I do need to go back to Three Colours Red again, because I haven't seen it for a while, for one thing, but I do remember that being my favourite one. But if this ends up being my favourite one, it's no surprise. It's between this or Red that might be my favourite of the trilogy. But this is just a beautiful, wonderful drama. That music as well is just gorgeous. So yeah, Three Colours White, I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10, guys. I think this film is absolutely fantastic. And rewatch, and first time seeing it since the cinema actually, and that is Anatomy of a Fall with Sandra Hüller. And wow, guys, yeah, do you know what? This might have just been as good on that first viewing. I love this film. You know, Sandra Hüller, she is from Germany. She's like travelled to France. She spent a lot of time in London with her husband, and again you kind of focus on this back history where her and her husband have had a little bit of checkered history. They've had a little bit of a sort of a brawl in the family. Their marriage has kind of fallen apart a little bit, but their son doesn't know any about this, and that has gone on. Well, might have known a bit here and there, but kind of not into the full in-depth. And that's kind of all revealed as the film goes on. And you're kind of learning kind of the backstory of what's happened with like her husband and like the son's like a father in there as well. And when you see kind of the courtroom scenes as well, it's just really well laid out as well. I do think the main guy who plays the main lawyer in there, he does a fantastic job in this film. He's probably, I would say, Sandra Hüller and this guy probably are the two standouts in my opinion. And yeah, I just love kind of, you have this real downbeat like piano based score as well that really oozes through like the atmosphere as well. Also, guys, the other main lady in there, she is brilliant and plays a great supporting role in this, like, and that main dog in there as well. But yeah, I just love the setting with this like big house. It's just like kind of, you know, and you've got all this snowy scenery, and yeah, it's just really, really great. And you know, like this mother and son, they're kind of learning more and more about like kind of this past that they kind of didn't really speak a great deal about with one another. It's just, and yeah, and then you get the ending as well, and it is just a fantastic watch from minute one to the very last seconds of this film. And yeah, the acting is brilliant. Like Sandra Hüller, when she really goes into that deep sort of like speech as well, it really, like, she's got a real fire in her belly, and she absolutely delivers on that leading performance, front, left, right and centre, all the merry way there. So yeah, just a fantastic film, guys. And yeah, like, again, when you kind of go into kind of like sort of the like the kind of the scene of the events, and they're kind of trying to retrace their steps as well. Again, you know, like, you see kind of that is taps into the whole sort of back history with one character to a next. And yeah, it's just a fantastic film, this one. And yeah, I did send the Blu-ray to my very good friend James Movie Bug, so yeah, I'm sure James will really get something out of this film for sure, because yeah, this is just great, and I definitely would put this as one of my favourite films of that year, 2023 as well. So Anatomy of a Fall, I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10 there. Part of the Unwatched Shelf series, and I watched It's the Terror, that was, it came from space. The Terror from Beyond Space there. So yep, guys, this was good fun. I enjoyed this one, to be fair, like a classic old school like B movie. And yeah, this was not bad. This was all right. Decent this one. And yeah, just again, guys, you gotta kind of take these films for what they are. They're self-aware, they know what they're doing, they're not there to win any awards, they're just there to be these fun, pleasing viewings of movies, and that's exactly what they do here. The movie did its job, and it succeeded there to being like a fun little sort of like kind of sci-fi adventure movie, and I enjoyed this. Again, the look of kind of the main threat and the main monster in there, I just, again, kind of had sort of like this great kind of tensions attached to it. But the bundle of characters in this film and on this space crew, yeah, were a great addition to the story. I really kind of did like the whole like love interest in this film as well, but I have spoken a great more in depth about this in my latest episode of the Unwatched Shelf series. But yeah, I did enjoy this one. The look of the spacecraft, that kind of low beat music in it, really kind of, it really just added to that tension as well. And yeah, I quite had a good time with this one, guys. Again, the look of the monster in that, I think the alien, pretty dated now, but there's fun to be had at the same time as that. And yeah, it's just a fun, all right little movie that I would happily go back to again, and only clocks in for 70 minutes. Also, I did like the main sort of like leader of this space crew as well. I thought he was a great kind of commanding sort of protagonist in this movie as well. So yeah, It's the Terror from Beyond Space, I'm gonna give a 6.5 out of 10 there. I had a rewatch of possibly my favourite Edgar Wright film, and yeah, I just really have a great time with this film every time I watch it. But again, I wanted to go back to it because I was just in the mood to go back to a lot of these like wintry based movies. And yeah, it's a film I haven't seen for about 5-6 years, and then I just bought the Blu-ray recently, which I will show in my next Blu-ray haul video, and that is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Oh man, this film is absolutely effing awesome. I love this film so much, guys. yeah, the soundtrack is brilliant. Like, I just forget how great the soundtrack is. It's just right up my street, this soundtrack. It's got that real sort of, like, it's got a little bit of a grunge, sort of like underground sort of scene feel to it. And yeah, just again, Michael Cera, who again was kind of, you know, like making a name for himself at this time, you know, wherever that was in Superbad or Juno, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, and then I think this is kind of like a bit of a breakthrough for him in terms of like his like kind of leading roles in that. But yeah, really good movie, guys. Again, you know, following Scott Pilgrim, who, you know, is very much just like having the time of his life. He's having a great, like, satisfying sort of relationship. Him and his band and his bandmates are just, you know, like really enjoying kind of, you know, like kind of playing in these like intimate venues and, you know, trying to make a name for themselves. But then, yeah, one day when Scott meets Ramona Flowers, it kind of turns his life around from one reason to the next. And he is in a real, like, kind of dark situation that he is now up against Ramona's 7 ex-boyfriends in this. And then it kind of just, like, then the film, from there on, it is kind of like just a battle and another battle, a battle and another battle, and then that's kind of the running theme of this film from then on. And yeah, again, just so many cool, quirky characters to this one, you know, like Ramona's ex-boyfriends, but also Scott Pilgrim and his bandmates. And yeah, again, just kind of the film that has a real kind of quirky and really like awesome kind of aesthetic to it, you know, kind of, you know, where you would focus on like this this bedroom, and you kind of get all the kind of the how do you describe it, kind of something similar to kind of what Wes Anderson would do, where there would be like they'd point where things are, and then it would have like a subtext to it. So this could be this cupboard or this wardrobe sort of thing, and you'd see it like in text. Yeah, it's just a really cool movie, guys. And yeah, again, that final showdown in the end is just absolutely awesome. And yeah, I do like the downbeat music, but when you get into the real kind of the amplified sort of like original songs in there as well, it just really drives this film up to third gear there. And yeah, possibly on another day, guys, my favourite Edgar Wright film, it's either between this or Hot Fuzz. But yeah, I think it is just a fantastic wild ride of a film, and I kind of would have been up for a sequel for this one. I don't think we're ever going to get that now, but as a standalone film, it still works on its own accord there. So yeah, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10, guys. I think this film is absolutely brilliant. The last couple of films I signed off November 2025 with was a couple of Jim Carrey films. And yeah, guys, in the new year, I'm just so looking forward to going back to a few of Jim Carrey's films, but some of which I do want to check out for the first time as well, because in the new year, I would love to do a top 10 Jim Carrey movies video. And there's some Jim Carrey films I still need to get into like my collection regardless, even if they're movies I don't think are gonna have a shot at cracking into the top 10. It's just good to have part of the Jim Carrey collection. But yeah, this one I haven't seen for absolute years, and wow, guys, I had such a quality time with this one on like rewatch there, and that is the original Dumb and Dumber. The sequel, I actually don't remember being too bad. Again, guys, I do want to pick that one up on Blu-ray at some point to go back and revisit it and see what my opinion of it is now. But there's no doubt with the sequel, I will still get some enjoyment out of nonetheless. And the original Dumb and Dumber, I had such a quality time with this one on revisit. Again, guys, you will see I bought the Blu-ray, that will be featured in my upcoming Blu-ray haul video. And yeah, I just love this. The chemistry between Lloyd and Harry in this film is just great. And Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey, their chemistry in this film is just absolute second to none. It is dynamite. And there is just some iconic scenes. G'day, mate, we're gonna put the shrimp on the Barbie, and all the whole the scene with the constant pissing as well. With the going from this bottle to this bottle, and then they have to stop the car, and then the police officer thinks they've been drinking and driving, but it's actually, what is it, Jim Carrey Lloyd that's couldn't stop pissing in each of these bottles. It actually also kind of reminds me of, what is it, Neil in the In-Betweeners as well, which I wouldn't be surprised that took a little bit of inspiration from this here. But yeah, it's just it is just an awesome film, guys. Obviously, you've got the whole oh my goodness, the scene with the toilet as well. Harry, meets, that lady, and then when they're they're sort of hitting it off, and then they they have that snow fight, and then obviously, basically, he's basically just decorating his snowman, and wow, yeah, when you see when he's decorating that snowman, and then it's just a different picture to how this lady originally imagined it. Oh man, yeah, just a great fun movie, guys, from the Farley brothers. And I actually forgot that part of this film actually does take place at the wintry time of year as well. So yeah, also the scene, guys, in the bar where he thinks that he's got to meet this lady at 10 o'clock, and then he goes to Harry, says, I went at 10 o'clock to meet this lady, but she wasn't there. And then Harry's like, I would have been very shocked if she meant 10 o'clock in the morning. I think she meant 10 o'clock at night, Lloyd. And then Lloyd's like, oh yeah, because I was very surprised that she wanted me to meet at the bar at 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh man, it is just the kind of the witty comedy side of this movie is just sheer brilliance as well. And yeah, the scene with the newspaper and all that, yeah, just a great fun movie, guys. Dumb and Dumber, I'm gonna give a 7.5 out of 10 there. And yeah, guys, I am quite looking forward now to going back to the sequel, even though I know the sequel does get a little bit of a bad rap. I'm just interested to see what I think to it on rewatch. I do remember having a decent time with the sequel, that being said. But yeah, I'm going to try and, again, some of the Jim Carrey movies I'm going to revisit in the new year. But there's some of which I do plan on checking out in the new year as well. Because from here on, I'm mostly going to be watching Christmas movies in the run-up to Christmas. So yeah, but that is the original Dumb and Dumber. And then the last film I watched in November 2025, and this, to my surprise, guys, was a first-time watch of Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. So I've always loved Pet Detective. I went back and rewatched that one earlier in the year, and I had such a fun time with that. Again, guys, if there's one thing to highlight of my 2025 movie diary. It's been going back to a lot of American comedies, particularly Jim Carrey movies, and some of which I watched for the first time. Like I watched Me, Myself and Irene, The Cable Guy, I Love You, Philip Morris, and yeah, I watched this for the first time as well, so I've just had a really great time going back to a lot of Jim Carrey's movies, and some of which for the first time as well. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record there, but yeah, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, I quite enjoyed this one. I did have a decent time with this one, to be fair. It's not a patch on Pet Detective. I've got to agree with most people on that one. I do think Pet Detective is a better film, but this is still just a charmful, entertaining wild ride of a sequel, and I probably would have been up for a third movie just to have its own like trilogy there, but nonetheless, this is still a decent like sequel, like Ace Ventura, and a bit of a departure from like the first movie as well. You know, Ace is kind of, he's basically just on the holiday, and then he's kind of summoned to like this like new case afoot where he's got to go to Africa to find like this missing bat in prep for like this wedding, and if he doesn't find like this missing bat, then all hell will break loose. There'll be this like tribal war as well that will set upon like especially on the wedding day as well. So yeah, Ace is basically on a vital mission to find that missing bat and find who has stolen this bat as well. I gotta say, guys, I thought Simon Cowell was a great supporting character to this film as well. I actually forgot Simon Cowell was in this film as well, to be honest. Yeah, like, I mean, I forgot he was in this film. This is the first time watch, but I didn't know he was actually in this film. But yeah, he was a great addition to this story. Like, I did actually like the on and off banter between Ace and Simon Cowell's character, where they're on this like sort of bewildering adventure. But yeah, there is just some funny moments in this film as well, guys. Obviously, the scene on the plane, the scene with the rhino as well. And yeah, there's just some really funny moments like that. Sort of aspects were kind of like it kind of had a bit of a dreamscape sort of scenario as well, and kind of when Ace has those like he has these telepathic powers as well. I kind of enjoyed that aspect of the movie. Again, this has a very different flavour to what Pet Detective had to offer, but I'm kind of admired that this sequel did something different. And oh yeah, the scene where they're in the Jeep, and then the Jeep like nearly crashes near that tree. Oh man, yeah, just really enjoyed this one, guys. And yeah, a little bit of a slow burn as well. It does take its time to kind of get going as well, because I know this film is slightly longer than Pet Detective, because I think Pet Detective is about 75 minutes. I think this is 90 minutes. But nonetheless, it doesn't outstay its welcome as well, the runtime there. So Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, I'm going to give a 6.5 out of 10 there. So yeah, guys, that is it. That's all the movies I have watched in November 2025. Well, not all the movies, guys. This is all the movies I've watched in the latter part of November 2025, guys. And yeah, guys, do let me know actually what movies did you watch in November 2025, wherever that was first time watches or like rewatches. I would love to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below. And yeah, guys, do let me know your thoughts on any of these movies I've talked about here today on the channel. So yeah, I'm gonna be back for episode 10 of the Unwatched Shelf series. That might be coming out either before this video or after this video, but yeah, I am recording this on the Tuesday the 2nd of December, and yeah, hopefully I'll do a December non-Christmas watches video, and all the Christmas movies I've watched in December I'll probably just do through a couple of like YouTube short videos and that. And yeah, I've had an absolute ball doing this like monthly watches series, and like just to tell you guys what I have been watching per month and to bring my letterboxd diary to YouTube there. So yeah, I've had a really fun time doing that this year, and long may that continue. And yeah, guys, I would like to do kind of like a Christmas themed video as well. That's something I've kind of got in the pipeline as well. So yeah, guys, thanks for all of your continuous support on the channel. I really do appreciate it, and I'll be back for more content soon there. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye, take care guys, thank you so much.